welcome to the WABER 2017 conference. I really thank you for taking the time to write papers and to get ready and to make travel arrangements to come. Please feel free to engage.
You think back of your own university and answer these questions. How many of our universities have video conferencing facility? How many use interactive boards? In fact, when some interactive boards were installed in my university, people started using permanent marker on it and defaced and destroyed it, and even the projector itself was stolen.
Any conference among scientists that does not enable participation by scholars in the humanities should perhaps revise its notes. For scholars in the humanities may not be familiar with the technicalities of studies on the built environment, but they are certainly part of a critical mass of consumers that endure the research outcomes of architecture, building construction, construction management, civil engineering, project management, quantity surveying, planning, urban and regional planning, in short, the built environment.
Citation: Professor Kabir Bala, distinguished academic mentor. This citation is given in recognition of your distinguished service to the academic profession, most notably with regard to supporting the development of early career academics and the positive impact of your work in the Nigerian built environment field since you took up your first academic post at Ahmadu Bello University as a graduate assistant in 1987.
ABU happens to be among what we would consider the first generation universities in Nigeria. There are 5 or 6 of them. And they, to a certain extent, still produce the manpower that is required in other universities and institutions of higher learning, polytechnics and colleges of education that are springing up every day. And so the particular situation in ABU is that in the whole of the northern region, we know Nigeria the way it is, we have the north and the south. It is the only first generation university that we had, then all the 4 are in the southern region. So, and then for the large population and the area that we have, ABU had the mandate then somehow to nurture the academics and then to produce the intellectual manpower that is needed for development at the same time.
It seems extremely difficult to get hold of the concept of theory for people who are not familiar with talking about theory. So let's simplify it straight away. And I'll just tell you that theory is a statement of causation. If you only remember one thing from this whole conference, make sure you remember that. Theory is a statement of causation. It's really that simple.
Stakeholder management has become a very important issue in the construction industry because it directly dictates the success or failure of a project, basically. And also, stakeholder satisfaction has become a measuring criterion of how successful a project is in the contemporary world. However, it's been observed over and over that the performance of stakeholder management has been very, very poor in the construction industry, especially when compared to another industry like manufacturing. Some of the reasons include the uncertainties we face in the industry, as well as the complexities of our project, and also the number of stakeholders that we face. So in this research, basically, is to evaluate the important objectives that project managers consider in managing construction stakeholders.
Findings from literature shows that the architect-client relationship is a dyadic relationship that is bounded by professional ethics and protocols. So the behavior in this relationship is already bounded and defined. Operating outside of it makes you either a quack or unethical. So, also, consumer satisfaction is a relative concept. Customer satisfaction is a relative concept. A customer is satisfied when their expectations are met and exceeded. IBM et al. 2013 also mentioned that. Also, the satisfaction of clients is a complex phenomena because there are different thresholds for different customers. So, it's very important for service providers to try and understand the customer by gathering information on their needs.
It seems like if you're interested in the dimensions of stakeholder management, as you were pointing out, it seems like there are some better ways perhaps of analyzing the data than looking at this mean importance analysis that you're doing. In particular, I think you could look at the factor structure of those items you developed and see which of the items are grouping together with the others, and then you might be able to distill it into a set of more reasonable factors, maybe 2 or 3, given the types of items you were listing there. So I think a factor analysis approach would be better than what you were doing. In terms of the items themselves, the items that are listed there are quite complicated, and many of them have several objects to them. So if you're going to work further and develop a new paper, for example, I would try to simplify the items.
Fatal fall injuries are the most prevalent among construction workers, and reports from the Bureau of Labor Statistics emphasize that the construction industry is the 4th sector which faces most majority of fatal fall injuries. We must emphasize that within the year of 2010 to 2015, there has been a consistent increase of fatal fall injuries among construction workers. In the construction industry, there are various stakeholders and construction workers whom are being faced by fatal fall injuries. And these statistics show that the roofers, the iron workers, and the frontline supervisors are the main stakeholders who face fatal fall injuries. Aside fatal fall injuries, construction workers are also faced with non-fatal fall injuries. And these non-fatal fall injuries consist of slips, trips, and loss of balance events. I must emphasize that the main causes of non-fatal fall injuries are the slips, trips, and loss of balance events.